some of you, it's been a few years, but for those who I'm not familiar with, my name is Stephanie. I am the growth portfolios lead for GPS Americas. I've been at Microsoft for a period of time now, and many of you may know me from my very first job at Microsoft, where if anyone's familiar with the partner investment engine, affectionately known as PI, I was the creator of it. So my first job at Microsoft was handed 16 different incentive programs on 16 different platforms with 16 different rules. And my first job, I was like, why don't we just put it on one platform, guys? And everyone thought I was a genius. And I'll just say it's been smooth sailing since then. Just kidding, it hasn't been. But that's how I think many of you know who I am. So I've been in various marketing roles, and then also sales roles, supporting partners for the last 10, 11, 12 years now.
But, many partners want to know, what it takes to be a Microsoft or a managed Microsoft partner. For today's discussion, because caveat here for everybody, there is no specific checklist that if you do X, Y, and Z, you will get Q. There's nothing. However, what do you think are the top 3 things that partners could focus on to be considered for inclusion in one of these programs?
Yeah, happy to talk about that. So if we're talking about specific activities that are go-tos that the partners can do, first is ensuring that you have association for any of the work you're doing. So this can be something if you're a CSP partner, right? Making sure that association is correct. PAL association for Azure accounts, C4 for modern work and biz apps, right? Making sure you're getting the credit for the work you're doing. That is the easiest way for us, our internal reports at Microsoft, to see what you're doing, right? The second thing is also sharing leads in Partner Center. Everybody wants to be connected with the Microsoft sales team, and this is the best way to do it, right? When you have an active lead, an active opportunity to share that lead in Partner Center, get connected with the Microsoft sales team, and then really focus on building that relationship. A lot of this still comes down to relationship based, and by building that relationship with those teams on the opportunities you do work with, it just helps expand your footprint, expand your brand. So those are some of the elements that are super critical to, some of the activities to understanding to try to build that relationship with the Microsoft teams that put you in a better position to potentially get into one of the, groupings of partners. If you're an ISV partner, making sure you have a solution on the marketplace and that it's transactable and that you are transacting solutions through the marketplace when applicable, right? When your partners want to, when your customers want to. Marketplace is the way of the future. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it is where Microsoft is headed. And so if you're on the beginning of that wave, right, it just puts you in a really great position to be successful. Takeaway, if you take nothing else away from this, I want to give you one thing. So when you share a lead in Partner Center, you fill out all the fields, and there's a section where there's these buttons, and the buttons start with no help needed, general other, and then there's like 5 other ones. If you want to co-sell with Microsoft, if you want to engage with the Microsoft field sellers, never select the no help needed button, even if no help is needed. What it does internally in our tools, we see the lead, but it doesn't require the Microsoft field sellers to take an action, reach out, get on the phone with you. It tells them, hey, this is a partner-led lead, which is great, but I don't need to interact with you. So my recommended best practice, like I said, if you don't take anything else away from this, if you do want to co-sell with Microsoft, if that's part of your business practice, again, it's not for everybody, but if you do, select the general other button, and then a notes, like a comments box, free text kind of pops up. And in there, you can type what you need, right? Even if no help is needed, you can still type it in there. We do recommend kind of putting in just 1 to 2 sentences about the opportunity. It just helps encourage the field sellers. to reach out and engage with you, but pretty much just never select the no help needed button, even if no help is needed, just because it puts you in a better space that you are actively co-selling with Microsoft.
How important are SPDs and specializations in today's partner ecosystem?
Yeah, I think you touched on it a little bit earlier, and I think it's worth repeating, right? If you have an idea of like, say you're hiring a plumber in your house, right? Or an electrician. Would you hire someone that doesn't have that certification, or a contractor that doesn't have their license, right? Would you go out and just hire someone and trust that they could do the work even though they haven't done the paperwork, passed the test, submitted, to get all that license type of scenario? Most likely not, and that's similar the way we can kind of approach looking at specializations. Specializations are the exams, the proof with your revenue that you've done work with customers, and the certain other criteria, certifications, requirements. And that's pretty much how Microsoft looks at it, right? So our field sellers have hundreds of thousands of partners they can work with, right? And in order for them to know which partners essentially are licensed contractors to work with, right, that have the specialization in that certain solution, have the expertise with customers, have done customer wins, right, essentially have proven to be experts in their field, that's where that specialization comes in. And that's how our field sellers want to work with select partners, because it's been a proven track record. So it is really important, and we talked about it a little bit, but it is really critical for you to want to continue to accelerate your growth in Microsoft, to select certain specializations that are within your workload, right? It might be one solution, it might be a couple, right? Again, all depends on your business strategy. You don't need to throw everything against the wall. We do have some partners that do throw everything against the wall, but it's not required. And do the work, put in the work, show the proof, get your licensing, your contractor licensing, and that way we know we can, have faith to work with you.
Okay, save the date. Once again, register Copilot next month. It's going to be fantastic. Awesome. Bottom line, we're going to figure out how we're making any money off this stuff, right? How are we actually making money? So we're going to be going good with that. Next slide. We are going to land the plane. If you ever need to get a hold of me, here's my contact information, or my brother, who's our Chief Operating Officer, Richard Crancer. You can use our Crancer at Crancer or at Crancer.us. Anyways, thanks everybody. Really do appreciate this. We're landing the plane right on time. Thank you again.